Ah, dear reader, or rather, dear listener, I've done it again. I've made a mistake. I said Thoreau when I was talking about Elaine's reading habits. Thoreau didn't write any poetry that I know of, and he didn't make up any stories that I know of. No, it wasn't Thoreau. It was Wordsworth. You might have guessed that when I said Coleridge right after his name. Maybe no matter. But this gives me an excuse to speak to you about something else. If you have questions about this story, ask. You just do it in a comment, uh, on the video where I'm putting it there. Just put it down there. I might answer it. I might not. If it has to do with where the story's going, I might not. But I know a lot more about these characters uh, and the story than I'm telling. And so if you want to know, ask. All right, now on with the story. Violet was the first that woke up, and she was coming down the stairs. Now the stairs in that house are open; they're not closed in. So she was partway down the stairs, and she saw the two young people, youngsters, youngins, sleeping there. Lance on the couch, and on the floor beside the couch, there slept Elaine. And she stopped when she realized they were sleeping, and she backed up, went back upstairs because she thought that's a good thing, let them sleep. She was going to get help from Elaine uh, to do the task at hand, but she thought she could do it herself. And that was to get a wheelchair that she had in her closet. She wanted to get it downstairs because she was pretty optimistic about Lance and thought he'd be wanting to use that today or that day. So she got it out, and it was a light thing. It wasn't really that hard to do. She bought it at a yard sale for nothing. It was just a crime that she could have bought it that cheap, $5, maybe 10. Uh, she got a walker at the same time, and she had that up there too. So here was the time to use it. Well, she collapsed it and took it out and collapsed it and carried it. It wasn't that heavy, and she got it down there and set it up. Opened it up and had it setting up there. Well, they were still sleeping. She'd been quiet. So she thought, well, I'll go into the kitchen and I'll start some breakfast. Who knows? Maybe Lance will be able to eat. So in she went. Well, now there was had been enough noise or sound that Lance woke up. He was the first of the two to wake up. And he didn't immediately remember where he was. And he was looking around, and one of the first things he saw was laying there beside him, down on the floor, but beside him was this beautiful woman. And he thought, am I in heaven? Is this an angel? uh, she just looked so beautiful there, laying sweet and innocent. And there's a phrase from a Leonard Cohen song that you might remember. The song was "No Way to Say Goodbye," or "That's No Way," something like that. Anyway, it goes, "Your hair upon the pillow like a sleepy golden storm." Her hair was. Now it wasn't a golden storm because Elaine's hair was dark brown, almost to the point of being black. But there she lay, and it wasn't the last time that that Lance said to himself, "My God, she's beautiful." But anyway, he then what he realized was he had a problem. Now Violet had come back in. He hadn't spoken, but she came back in to check on him, and Lance says, "My lady, I've got a problem. You know all that liquid you had me drink," and right away, Violet knew, and she was going to make it easy for him. "Lance, do you have to pee?" And he said, "Oh, you can't imagine how bad I got to pee." And now that talk had awakened Elaine, and she was getting up, and there was a wheelchair. And now this was such an agony for Lance to make it to that wheelchair. There was a restroom or a bathroom on the first floor, but there was no way he could walk there, but maybe with the wheelchair. But he had to go to the bathroom so bad. And he was trying to preserve a little bit of his pride. If Elaine, or if Violet had had one of those urine bottles, I think you call it, that would have solved the problem, but she didn't have one. They got him in the chair, and he tried to sort of race his way over, and he made it. He got there. He got in there, and there, I don't know if you can imagine the acrobatics it took. His left leg wasn't working. It really, it hurt so bad, and he couldn't really use his right arm, shoulder much either. But somehow he managed to get the job done. And he came back out in the wheelchair. He came back out and was heading over toward the couch, and Violet said to him, "Lance, wait, do you think you could eat some breakfast?" And Lance said, "Yes, my lady, I think I could."